Okay, I'm here with my brother Andres.
Hi.
We're
Hi.
Real, the platform for day-to-day payments in Latin America. Turns out that in Latin America, half of the population lives in the informal economy. So it's basically impossible to do your everyday purchases without depending on cash. In the formal workers need to withdraw their salary to be able to cover the living expenses with merchants and the communities that don't accept cards. So there are plenty of solutions trying to solve this with bank accounts are card readers, but none of them were able to solve it because first they built on all the infrastructure, and these neobanks are just nice UIs built on the same banking infrastructure. Second, they only focus on one side of the market. And third, the business models are not aligned with the customer. So it's making these solutions impossible for the low income population that actually sets the consumption behavior for the rest. Killing cash usage is the biggest untapped opportunity in fintech, and that's where we really work. We're starting any kind of financial system in Mexico where 9 out of 10 transactions are made using cash. This represents a 200 billion opportunity every year, and it's been locked for financial institutions since ever. So our product is for merchants and consumers, and it's designed to generate network effects that ensure that even the hardest to reach populations can use the platform to move money in real time, 24/7, either they are online or offline at no cost. And consumers get a mobile bank account with peer-to-peer payment features. They send or receive money in a very familiar way, and we give them debit cards to support the transition from the old system to the modern work method. And in some way, merchants get the tools they need to sell more. We can charge them way less than the outdated point of sale solutions. And we give them their money the instant they complete a sale so they can go the next day to buy more inventory. We launched our beta 4 months ago, and we have about 2,000 customers on beta, 25 small businesses right now. And since our launch, about 27,000 people joining our waitlist. We're a team of two right now. We're brothers, and we've been building financial services and payments for the last 5 years. Right now, we're raising of $1.5 million to grow our team that will enable us to roll new features and expand into new verticals faster. So here are my contact details. If you're interested and want to help us to build the digital economy in Latin America.
Thank you. Can you go back, I think, 3 slides? So is it starting with the wedge of merchants and enabling onboarding merchants as your initial wedge?
No, we started as a bank account. For me personally, I was a kid, so I got my first job, and it was very hard to get a kid's bank account. So I got my first jobs, and turns out that I reached the limit for the best account. So I had to travel the other side of the city just to get paid in cash. So once I got robbed, I said, "This is enough. I'm build a personal bank account." So this project has been it started as a personal bank account, but once we had access to these systems of move money for the entire country, we figured out that something was broken and that wasn't working. So our first strategy is to build for individuals who have the account, get familiar with it, and then acquire merchants. So we can force the merchants to drive a new consumption behavior.
Got it. Okay. So initially it's targeting consumer users. And I guess the value proposition is that they can do peer-to-peer payments with each other, and then layering on the merchant side after that so that they can also use their new bank to spend at different merchants.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I'm not really familiar with the market and the geo. And so I think my biggest questions would be just around the competitive landscape of what other new banks exist locally that are also trying to acquire, the same base of customers and merchants.
Sure. Yeah, there are solutions for merchants and for the consumers. There are no solution that's fixing both sides. So yeah, right now the consumer side is only bank accounts, neo banking, and payment acceptance with cards. But turns out that because of how the system works, how the fees get shared through middleman, and every time moving moves, it gets very expensive. these financial institutions actually had to focus on a very specific segment, a very hyper specific audience, just to cover their operations. So that's why no one is focusing on the lowest part of the pyramid.